Hey everybody, sorry to keep you waiting, but we are here. We're live. It's Wednesday Night Live. This is Wednesday night number 3 of this summer live series, right, Andy? And we're
It's
just
good way
here to
to
shoot. Yeah,
good
go
way
ahead.
to good way to call that. Yeah, we're just here to
Yeah,
catch up and hello
shoot.
everybody.
Yeah, shoot the shit, if you will, and just talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. If you guys have a topic or something you guys want us to yap about for an hour or so, we'll do that. If you guys have any suggestions, and Andy and I, we both have. I have an unboxing. Andy has something to show that he's gotten recently. So we'll get started here by just saying hi to everyone and good to see you.
I see a
And
lot of people, chiming in with their Get Back, you know,
yes,
Blu-rays, which they're starting to receive. I have not bought it yet. I will at some point. I I'll buy it. I'll watch it
right,
maybe once, and then it'll go on the shelf.
yeah. No, I hear you. I hear you.
You know,
Yeah, no, I get it. Same thing. I'll probably get it this weekend. I'll watch it at some point, and exactly, it'll go on the shelf.
you'll
I
watch it
get it.
one. I mean,
Yeah.
and with the availability to have it streaming, like imagine having the anthology and all the classic Beatle films at your fingertips on a service to stream. Would you ever actually touch them physically again for for bonus
Well,
content? Maybe.
yeah, yeah, because I'm just that stubborn to do that. You
Yeah.
know? Yeah. But everybody, how you doing, Tony, Christian, Andrew,
Thank you,
Tom?
Tom. Thank you, Tom
Yeah,
Brennan. Thank you very
there you
much on
go.
that. That's very nice of you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I was really amazed. I mean, you know your yes, you know your yes history, you know your yes lineups, and you know your yes albums. So
There's quite a
so that
few of
was
them.
really good. Hello, Mitch. Hello, Beans. Hello,
Hi, Mitch.
Paulina. Tony, Susan, everybody out there. Hope I didn't forget anybody.
Yes,
Billy.
the legs were late tonight, Billy.
Yeah,
Sorry.
sorry.
Tom Brennan.
Actually,
Yeah, see, he's
go ahead.
right. See, Tom, I'm echoing Tom Brennan's sentiments here. No rush to watch it. After you watched it 2 or 3 times, what's the rush to go get it on DVD?
Right.
Some, bef- um. So I don't know. It's just, but I like to see something that somebody else feels the same way I do with that because it's like it's so epic. It's 6 hours, right?
Eight.
Eight
More like
hours of
yeah, 8.
8 hours. I mean, and you watch it once or twice, and then it's like you're gonna run out and go buy it and go watch it again as soon as you get a physical copy. I mean, come on.
Yeah. I mean, it got nominated for a buttload of
As it
Emmys.
should,
Yeah, and
as it
so
should.
did McCartney 321. Thanks for Mitch Axelrod for posting all of that stuff on his
Yeah.
on the Fab Four site. So thank you.
Wouldn't that be
Mm.
something, Paulina? Right? Beatles Plus streaming services. Take my money, um, Susan. Like the Blu-ray package, but it's difficult to pull out of the sleeves. Yeah, yeah, it's tough when you get these. The way they package these discs now,
Right.
box sets. Sometimes they're just not. They're not. They're not.
Well, they're like on a spindle. Like I got that Sopranos box set, and
Mm,
a lot of them are just on top of each other on like a spindle,
right.
So
By the way, rest in peace, Tony Sirico, aka Paulie
yes,
Walnuts. His
Paulie
funeral. His funeral
Walnuts.
today.
Yeah, yeah.
I felt it here, T. I felt it right here.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, another
Listen,
one, another toothpick to quote a Sopranos episode.
yeah, it's too bad. Um, so what'd you get? You got something recently, right?
Today in the mail from the UK. And
Okay.
nothing special, not an album or anything, but it's a copy of the local Liverpool Echo, but it's that did a special on Paul's 80th birthday.
Ah, very cool. Okay.
So the Liverpool Echo, they did it like it's basically. I got the whole newspaper, but they did a special 8-page pullout and covering basically all photos of like when Paul came back to Merseyside.
Okay.
Wings, solo, Beatles, like an 8-page spread. Um, Ethan. Word to the wise. Remember Pearl Harbor. So funny. Yeah, but this came today from the UK, and it's the local paper over there in Merseyside, and I think this
Right.
is a photo of Paul from the '79 tour here, probably at
Hmm.
one of those shows, and of course on the back here we see Paul at the rebuilt Cavern Club there in 1999. So
Right.
this came today, which is pretty cool. The
Gotcha.
Echo, and how much are they? £1.60, which is about what, $3 maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
The shipping probably costs more than the paper,
Fact.
huh? Rory brought something up here, and I want to touch on that real quick. And he
Um,
says if it sells, it might give Disney the incentive to release some bonus stuff. Well, to that I say Disney should know just by maybe they do know on past sales of different products that the Beatles have released whether or not they could have released a limited bonus edition of the Get Back series with bonus features and just the standalone. I don't see why they couldn't have released, let's say 20,000, 10,000, you know, deluxe versions of the Get Back with, more footage for us crazy folk. And then just do the standalone disc that just came out. It is mind boggling that for them to think that it won't sell because I do think this would sell. You
Going to
know,
sell to the same people that bought the 10 different variations of McCartney 3. It's that same
right?
market.
I mean,
The same. It's the same. Maybe it's a little bit wider of a demographic with Get Back because it is the Beatles,
right,
but you're still talking physical media, which is still a niche market. It's the same people that bought a McCartney suitcase or
right,
George Harrison Uber box set. It's the
right. I mean,
same clientele.
the double dipping thing is just it is starting to get. Listen, I I have bought many a thing many a time. I've bought. I think I've said this before, but I think I've bought Goodfellas 6 or 7 times, since last 20 years. I've bought a Clockwork Orange 6, 7, 8 times. As the newest release comes
On
out. I mean,
DVD.
on well
Whether
VHS,
yeah.
DVD, Blu-ray. You know what I mean? So I'm
I
one of
think
those people. I'm one of
I
those
think for
people.
the epics, you can do that. I think for
Yeah.
you get a Beatles anthology 8 VHS set. Okay, then you get the DVD. Which, by the way,
Right.
when are we getting the Blu-ray of that? That would be nice.
That would be.
Come on, man.
Yeah. All right.
So
So yeah, but I hear you. I get it. It's kind of frustrating that this bare bones release has to sell well, in order for Disney to think,
to
okay,
think,
well
oh, we're
maybe
gonna give them more.
we're gonna give them more.
That should not be Disney. That's Apple's decision to say, here, we're gonna give you this. Put it on your discs. Put it on it.
Right. Hmm.
Disney's
No.
not going to determine we're going to give you more content. That's Apple.
Yeah, but there isn't the Disney's releasing it though, isn't it? Aren't they?
Yeah, but they're not releasing anything without Apple going, haha, take the content,
Yeah.
go.
Right.
Disney can do whatever they want. Unless Apple and the two estates and the two sign off on it, Disney will put out what Apple says they will. And that's
Well, I
that.
guess it just depends really on what the original deal was.
Disney's the distributor. Apple
Yeah, Disney
says,
is the distributor,
here
correct?
you go.
Right. But it also has to make sense for them to release it as well. I guess.
Of course, it's got to
You
be,
know,
profitable.
yeah, yeah. But oh well. Anyways, so I'll tell you what. If how about we talk about a particular album or something like that. If people, I mean, what people in the audience watching, the first album or single or whatever that comes up twice, maybe we'll talk about that for a little bit today. Just for something to talk about. I don't know,
What'd
but
you get?
all right. Well, I got me
Crack it
with my
open. Crack it open.
45s lately from around the
Yeah.
world. So this is no exception to that. So really excited that this is one that has eluded me for this single for a while now because I did get
I
the
saw
Japanese.
I saw your I've had enough picture sleeve. That looked
Yeah,
nice.
that's I'll show that in a few. But that's been on my want list for a long time. That picture sleeve 45. But I bought the Japanese version of this single, and it never showed. The person said, "Oh, we can't ship from Japan right now, so you have to wait." And I've been waiting for a couple months now for this.
For
But I
this,
finally,
so
so
go.
I finally got the single from a different country. It is the live. Maybe I'm amazed. Back with Soily, and
What,
this is from Belgium.
Belgium?
Yes. So there you go.
70s. So yeah, it's just and what's the label? What's the label look like?
Looks like
Just the regular?
Yeah. And
Hold it up
it's like,
closer.
yeah. See,
Okay,
it
so
looks
it's
regular.
got that. Yeah.
The label is regular. It's just from Belgium. That's all. You know.
I must say, again, once again, our UK counterparts are much better than us with their 45s. They don't make it that you have to have the adapter. You just put the
Right.
45 on, which because the
Yes.
insert comes on it.
Right.
Us Yanks have to make it where we make an adapter. In England, they just gave you the 45 with the hole on it, which was
Right.
much smarter. No, let's just make
Right.
them. Let's make them buy an
Right.
adapter.
Yeah. So this
Yeah,
is
that's
yeah,
the
this
gem right there, brother.
yeah.
That's
This
nice.
has been one of my holy grail picture sleeves. Mitch is
Okay,
all
all
right. All
right,
right.
no
All right.
problem there. It's my number two,
Yeah, I
brother.
know. I know. London Town wins. Okay.
Fine.
So there you go. And then this one just came in the mail as well. This is the
You win.
My Love from France, you know.
What country is the I've had enough?
Oh, this is UK.
That's just the UK. Okay.
Yeah, that's the UK.
Parlophone?
Let me double check.
Should be.
Yeah, it should be. Uh, oh, my eyes aren't working right now.
Hold it up, old timer.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
Parlophone.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, but yeah, so again, these
Tony
picture
asks.
sleeves.
Tony asks what's on the B side.
What's on the B side of what?
I've
I've
had
had
enough.
enough. That's Deliver Your Children. The
Win.
great, the great Deliver Your
That
Children.
could have almost been a double A side.
You think?
That
I
could have been
think
a
so.
double A side.
I think so.
Agree,
So
Mitch. Mitch says I've had enough. Should have been a top 10. Agreed.
yeah,
One of the only
it,
rockier ones on this folk heavy LP.
right, right. So what you got the Japanese there, right? Of
Yeah, Japanese standard
yeah.
89,
Okay, this is the 93 McCartney.
93. And
Yeah,
take your pick.
yeah,
Yeah. Slew of London towns. 93,
yeah,
89, Japan. Yeah.
yeah.
This one,
Right.
this is the most recent one I got, though. I got this a couple months ago in Florida when I was on vacation.
Really?
I
Oh
spotted it.
yeah, that's right.
Remember? No,
Yeah.
wait a minute. I was wrong. That was another one. That was
Yeah.
another one. Yeah. So, yeah.
Very
Although
cool.
the font looks a little different on this one than the standard ones. I don't know.
Okay.
That's just my eyes. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Title. Mitch says the title song was a bad choice for a single. I don't
I
know if
think
I.
so. I do. I think so. You know what? If leave it as a single in the UK. Europe and the
Good.
UK.
Agree. That I agree. That should have been a single in the UK. Here, that's yeah. Wouldn't have made sense to make London Town a single here. I've had enough would have been a better single in the UK in the US. But obviously, listen, you had With a Little Luck on it, so which was a smash.
I mean, I don't see a lot of the songs on here. I don't necessarily think would make great singles here in the States. I mean, obviously with a little luck, number one.
That's the
London
single.
Town.
That's the
Yeah,
single.
I know. I know. What I'm saying is I don't necessarily see a good follow-up single. Yes, I've had enough. Probably should have done a lot
Maybe.
better than what it did. Okay. But what else on here is actually really, single worthy?
Worthy? Not too much.
Cafe on the Left Bank, maybe.
Maybe.
But
Name and Address. I've never been down with that song. Because that song just sputters and ends out of nowhere because it just ends. So I don't agree with that. And I get it. The Elvis tribute. Elvis dies in August of '77 when much of this album was recorded. So that's the Elvis tribute, right?
right. And then he's not going to release Girlfriend as a single because he gave it to MJ.
He gave it to MJ.
And then he decided to do his own version of it, but he's not going to release it as a single.
I think if I had a gun to my head, I'd say I like MJ's version a little better.
Yeah. I mean, I'm Carrying maybe.
That's B-side material.
Yeah, maybe.
Water Spout on it, single.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of love for Water Spout, and the fact that it's still not, officially released to this day is still.
Well, it will be soon.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and the fact that they took, I mean, you had the the 549 version with the synth solo, and then the radio edit, which most FM stations play the FM edit. Occasionally, if you were on an album, if you were listening to like an album station, like here in New York area, you had 102.7, you'd hear the full version of With a Little Luck.
Right.
But you don't hear that. too much anymore these
Hmm.
days. You know.
Yeah,
Um,
there's beans right there. Yeah, London Town made 39 on the singles charts here. Um,
Respectable.
amazing. Yeah, respectable. The crazy thing, and we're gonna talk about this in another video that we're gonna
Mm,
make, is
yep.
every single McCartney release, whether it was solo
Or wings.
or Wings, went top 40 in the 70s. Which is an amazing feat. I don't know how many people can say that they actually had every single was a top 40 in one decade.
Right.
Not too many people can actually say that. So, but listen, I love Deliver Your Children. I don't think it would have been a good A side myself. Um, I don't know if it would have done any better than with I've Had Enough or London Town, but great song. I love it. It might be my favorite song on the album. Deliver Your Children.
Yeah.
I don't even remember where I ranked it when we did the
For
rankings.
me, that's the title track, and With a Little Luck is the 1-2 punch. With Backwards Traveler and I'm Carrying. Those are the Deliver Your
Right,
Children. Those are the home run tracks um,
right,
on the album for me. But it's I like that in the last, obviously, since it's been what 20 months since an archive, two
right.
years, 2 years since Flaming Pie, over two came out in June of 2020, right?
Something like that. Yeah.
So now we're 2 years since an archive. So the momentum building for this release is a lot now. People want London Town and Back to the Egg.
Oh, well, we see that with every time Paul releases something on the website. We're seeing this backlash for no, we don't want a desktop. We don't want more merchandise. We don't want a record store day single. We don't want a three album box set of the McCartneys.
No,
We want London Town and Back to the Egg.
yeah, and we'll see. I think we all know how good it is. Everybody in here commenting because we're McCartney fans, but I'll be really curious to see the mainstream press and the internet, the fan sites, what they'll review. The 30-year-old millennial who's listening to it, who it's his job to review it for some site. I want to see what he says or he or
Yeah,
she says about it. When they
yeah.
listen to it for the first time, they're going to go, "Wow, this is really good." And we're
Oh
gonna
no,
go,
I
and
mean,
we're gonna go,
again,
yeah, where you been?
right. Well, again, it's just going to be two more albums that are going to get reevaluated favorably. Yeah, it did. London Town went to number 2, and I think what Back to the Egg was top 10.
8,
Was it 8? Yeah, thank you. And it'll do well. I mean, people will all of a sudden think they're masterpieces.
right? Christian Doll. I thought a year between album releases was a long time to wait back. Well, when you got singles every few months, the flurry of activity, that's, a year in between is like, hey, when's the next album coming out? So now,
Right.
now you go like 3, 4, 5 years in between albums, which is what all the artists do now. Now that's like the normal thing. But back then, you had to it's non-album singles and albums were out. You had to have product out. Take 77. Paul doesn't put out an album in 77. He puts out a single. That's it. With Mulligan Tire
And
and Girls
that's
School.
yeah, that single does so well that he doesn't need to put anything out. It's kind of like Band on the Run as well.
Yeah.
It does okay in late 73, early 74, but once the song Band on the Run and the song
Well,
Jet are
that was
released,
an album really
then
that really all dominated all of 74, really.
right, exactly. Exactly.
Billy Spleen. Wow, you listened to Back to the Egg for the first time this year, and it was an amazing musical experience. Well, I'm
Great.
glad I'm glad you took that journey, my friend, because
Right.
it is a very, very diverse album, as all of Paul's albums are,
All of them, really.
as they all are.
Um yeah.
You can't take one album and say it all sounds like this, because it just doesn't. Very few albums, if any, in McCartney's album all fit one narrative like a Dylan album or something. They all have there's all kinds of music styles on all of Paul's albums.
Right.
So, well, I mean, look at the album we're talking about, London Town. It's got more Moose and the Grey Goose. How can we forget about that?
Well, yeah, and that's the thing I was saying. Look how it starts. It starts with London Town, this very English song,
Yep.
English lyrics, and then you finish it off with this craziness that is more Moose and the Grey Goose. I mean, how cool is that? This is the kind of thing, again, what I want from my favorite artists. Mix it up.
You want to wide, ballads, far
Right.
off, electronic. It's almost very fireman like Morse Moose and the Grey Goose
Yeah.
in a way.
Yeah.
In a way, Beans Balls had #1 single from every album from Red Rose through London Town. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's a period that I think in his early post Wings period, like in the 80s, he really disassociated himself from this period, like London Town, Back to the Egg. You didn't hear him really kind of go back to it all that often. Even now, it'll be very curious when we get these archives. Do they pull the club sandwiches and do they reproduce those in the archive books? I hope they do. What I really want to see, what they did, what I really want them to see is have a contemporary interview with Paul in whenever they do it, like 2022 or whenever they have the interview, and have them, let's say, track by track, have them talk about the tracks, talk about Cafe on the. Now, you got a little of that with the lyrics because you had some lyrics from London Town in there, but let's get that for every song. And some of the archives have done that. Some of them just like McCartney too. I think some of them they go back to like interviews from the time and they'll republish them, and those are great too. But I'd really like to see what an elder statesman Paul has to think about these albums now.
And that's the thing, because like you said, I mean, they are kind of ignored in a way because one, they maybe they didn't do as well as like a Band on the Run or Venus and Mars, and then that's it.
Yeah, exactly, Mitch. It's a sea shanty, Morse Moose and the Grey Goose, and you're right. He does not promote the. So if you ever watched that interview with his manager Scott Roger from years ago, they talked about how they tier the releases, like A-level projects, B-level projects, C-level projects. So like his main music, new albums would be like the main stuff. The archives is like a kind of lower level, like so they don't put the same hype machine behind they do, for the new albums. So you're right, Mitch. He doesn't go out, he doesn't go all out and promote them. Although when they do promote them, it's everywhere, on McCartney.com, like for Flaming Pie. I thought Flaming Pie archive was well promoted.
Well, that's another thing too. I wish, like, if he's going out live while one of these releases gets released, why not? Why can't he do a song from London Town? Let's say if he does another tour, okay, and London Town gets released, why can't you do I've Had Enough? You could easily probably still do,
I'm sure, and I
I've
would
Had
love
Enough,
if we could ever interview like Rusty and Brian Ray, because I'm sure they have a list of songs that they have wanted to go through and rehearse with him. I'm sure those guys want to play the songs that we want to hear too. I would love to ask them one day, what's your dozen songs you've asked Paul would he consider playing? I would love to know if they compiled such a list. I'm sure they have.
Yeah, but he was doing that, Mitch, with the early releases. He wasn't actually, being interviewed by people, but he was kind of like almost doing like little interview bios of the album in that time on those early releases.
You were getting a little like 5-minute documentary drop with it. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I don't, with a little luck. I mean, musically with the technology, they could do it now. I just don't know how he would sound. But again, if he an 80-year-old Paul McCartney doing it was fine. He could, because they have the, Wix there and everything, they could definitely do it now. But again, you wonder how much of this music, especially songs like With a Little Luck and Silly Love songs that have so much Linda in them, that's why he's not revisiting them, because she was such
I don't necessarily buy into that. Maybe Silly Love songs. Okay, I could buy into that. Okay, but if he's so worried about, Linda's backing vocals in these songs, then don't do any Wings songs live. You know what I mean? You can't say, okay, I'm not going to do Silly Love songs,
but I do Letting Go.
But I do other songs that has Linda backing vocals on it. I don't know if I necessarily buy into that.
I don't know, but there's got to be a reason why. I mean, it's mind-boggling when you think about all the big hits that he just doesn't play. And with I know With a Little Luck, Take It Away, and all that.
I mean, Hell on Wheels. He's never done Hell on Wheels live. So
no.
But I think more realistically, he can do I've Had Enough. More realistically than he can With a Little Luck.
Agree. That's a band. It's a band rocking song. I think
exactly.
They could do it.
Cafe on the Left Bank. Or go ahead. What?
I was gonna say just some corny videos though. With some of these videos, like the London Town official video with them just walking. That's pretty lame. Then there's two versions of the I've Had Enough video. There's like the straight screen, Then there's the 4-way split screen version. You had to have,
Right.
So
Yeah.
the videos, and then the With a Little Luck video is, that is just screaming late 70s corn.
I think Michael Lindsay Hogg directed that with the Little Luck video.
And London Town too, I believe.
And London Town, yeah, yeah. Um, Tony, I agree with you 100% on that. I love Neil Young's "Don't Let It Bring You Down" song over Paul's "Don't Let It Bring You Down." Yeah, I think he can definitely do "Old Siam, Sir."
He could do that now. I mean, he does Helter Skelter.
Yeah,
He does Helter Skelter. So I mean, and he does it in that shouty kind of way. Old Siam, sir.
right.
That was a lyric that was revisited in the lyrics book. That was
Yeah,
reprinted in the lyrics book. So
yeah.
he's
Actually,
thought about these songs,
mhm. Actually, Mitch, Steve's first appearance in a Paul video was with the Little Luck. I mean, if you blink, you'll miss him. He gets one shot
on the drums, quick.
on the
That's
drums.
it.
Yeah, one shot.
And then
And
I
that's
think
it.
what Mitch is saying for the I've Had Enough too is what Lawrence, because
Yeah.
Lawrence was in that as well.
Yeah, yeah. Lauren, I think that was Lawrence's first appearance.
And I think LJ was in the band first, right? Before Steve Holley, right?
No, I mean we had him on and he talked a little bit about timeline, and I'm drawing a blank now, but
Me too. I think he
you know,
joined. I think LJ came first and Steve came later.
mm.
I think.
But I think
Uh,
LJ was also said he had some obligations too that he had to do before he can join full
Joining.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Billy Spleen says if he hears Single Pigeon live, he can die happily. I guess he needs a pal for a minute or two.
Yeah.
Man. Hey, but you know what though? I don't begrudge that. I love it. I love that somebody would love to hear that song live. That's even all minute and 48 seconds of it.
Yeah, what came first,
LJ or the egg? I don't know, Mitch.
Anyways, but going back to the album and the tracks, Cafe on the Left Bank is you listen to that and you listen to Jimmy's guitar work on that song, amazing. It's the kind of stuff that makes you wish that he was able to I don't know what, stay in line.
Yeah.
Know his role.
I think
and stick with the band,
And I think didn't they have Jeff Emmerich helping them out a little bit here? Because I remember in the documentary Wingspan, I think he says that Jeff Emmerich, or in the book Wingspan, Jeff Emmerich actually got his foot electrocuted on the boat when they were recording on this.
That wouldn't surprise me.
I think Jeff Emmerich helped them out a little bit on this one. Yeah, I'm just double checking the credits here. I just remember him say he talks about it the 30 seconds that he talked about it in the documentary. Well, we made an album called London Town, but we recorded it in the Virgin Islands, so we didn't really make it in London.
Right.
Which actually, if you know your history, London Town was written in 75 when Wings were on tour in Perth, Australia. It goes all the way back to 75, the title track, which I always found odd. They wrote about London Town when they were down under, going that far back.
Right. Susan says, now that Glastonbury is in the can, do you think we'll be seeing that Charlie documentary? Yes, I do. I that was probably put on hold after Glastonbury was postponed in 2020. So I do think that we'll be seeing that soon, hopefully.
Yeah, Beans, temporary secretary got a brief airing there in 2016-17, but yeah, it's funny if you look at a McCartney set list. There's sections of it that are they never change. Right. There's like that 4 or 5 song run, usually towards the end, where it's just like the same, and then he really does it. Like the beginning of the show, he changes it up. Well, I was looking at a set list the other day. There's that like Let It Be, Band on the Run, Over the like that, like the last 10 years. It's like that does not change at all. It's like you get to that part of the show and it's like the same.
Right. And then the final encore will maybe change, one song will rotate, like Birthday will always be in that encore. Helter Skelter, it seems like, will always be in that encore, and then the end medley will always be there, and then it seems like one song will change, because it's usually like 4 songs he'll do for an encore.
Yeah, or he'll do 2 sets of encores. I was talking with a friend the other night, with the best time we ever saw McCartney, and we talked about this. I mean, my 2007 show in New York with 500 people was great, but I got to say, when I saw him in 2013 in Barclays Center, that was an incredible show because the set list was just so so diverse. It was crazy. You had Lovely Rita there for the first time. It
Right.
was awesome. There was Listen to What the Man Said for the first time. Your
Right.
Mother Should Know for the first time. That and then the two sets of encores. Hi 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 for the first time. To me, for first
Well,
time songs,
yeah,
that show takes
right.
the cake because the set list was as much change as it could have been, and you had
Right.
Golden Slumbers at the end.
Right. Well, you should say first time in a while. You know.
Right, in a while. Right, in a
Yeah.
while.
But yeah, I like that. I mean, should he do the end of the end? You know, I,
I
that would
don't
be
not
interesting. That would be
what.
interesting to see him do that live.
Yeah. Mitch, you already going to throw in the towel on 1985 after never playing it live? I mean, I know it's been in the set now for a decade, but come on. And then when he busted that out for the 12-12-12 show, I think that's when that first came back out. I was like, let's go, baby.
What, 1985?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when he busted that back out. And he did it on the
Yeah.
12-12-12 Sandy show. And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
to
I'll
me, that
definitely.
can
Yeah.
stay.
Yeah. Let me roll it for sure. Gone. Get
86,
rid of it. Yeah.
gone. That's got to go. Tony asks, which sides of London Town do we prefer? Tough question because you've got the title track on side one, and then side two opens up with a little luck.
If I got a gun pointed to my head, I guess I'm going side two.
Same.
Deliver your children. You can't go wrong with that. More Moose and the Gray Goose.
Yeah,
Uh, you know, uh, with a
and
little
that's
luck.
and that's with
you know?
famous groupies on there too.
Yeah, yeah. I
Um,
mean, you can forget that one but I actually don't mind famous groupies. Um,
they are like as
yeah,
two peas.
yeah, yeah. But Deliver Your Children is the gem for me, and Cafe on the Left Bank I think are the two like real, gems on there. If you're
Yeah.
not going
Now,
to include With
if
a Little Luck.
true, if Paul
Uh,
started playing Warm and Beautiful, and now if he dropped My Valentine and threw Warm and Beautiful
right.
in there,
Oh, forget about it.
oh,
Yeah, yeah.
home run. Billy Splint, I think it's time to retire the medley finale. I don't know about that. I
It's
love
just too damn iconic.
it. You can't now.
You can't now. I mean, he's just been doing it so much now. You can't. It's yeah. You
You
can't
can't
now. I don't
retire
think.
because when was the last time when was the last time the encore was not the Golden Slumbers medley? That's a trivia question somebody could look up and go to set list and check because this has been the closer now for what, couple tours now, three,
Yeah.
going back to when?
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I just looked at I have 2013 up and it was done then. So
Right.
I mean
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Probably at least
Yeah.
since then.
Right. I'm caring. Is that a big ballad for you from Paul, or is it a B level Paul ballad, A level Paul
Hey,
ballad?
A level. I'm carrying A level. Absolutely A level. See, I don't know. I said side two, gun to my head like you, but side one, London Town, Cafe on the Left Bank, I'm carrying, Backwards Traveler, uh,
Well,
Girlfriend.
children, and girlfriend kind of bring it down a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Christian, if you looked at the tour book, he floats this idea out there that he wants to do a nerds only show. Now, I don't know how serious he was about it, but he talks about it in the tour book. He
Right.
mentions it. He goes, I've got to do an all nerds show. I'll do one.
Yeah. Susan, I'm carrying definitely A level. Okay. Okay.
Agreed.
Yeah. And this album is also fascinating with the fact that it's got the most songs on there that Denny and Paul had co-written together.
Yeah, I
You
think
know,
this was the height of that collaboration, really, because they
right,
really had only a couple, no words they wrote together. And then this was really them at their tightest, I think, because
right.
that this was the band reduced to a trio again, hence the
Well, I
couple.
mean, the most of the album was recorded with the bulk
Most,
of the band. I did like because there's an interview around that time where Denny was talking about how Paul, they were like giving each other songs and they were finishing each other's songs, you
yeah,
know, so I thought that was cool. And plus they wrote Mulligan Tire at this during these sessions as well. So
very
they were
fruitful,
really
very, very,
yeah,
very fruitful period. And
yeah,
think about the success of Wings up until this point. Okay, they have gone full circle from what Paul. They started out as a very very small band, nothing, traveling nowhere, small European tours, then go to America, then do a world tour 75, then come to America in 76. So in a matter of like 3 or 4 years, he becomes the biggest band again, and then has to come up with a follow up album after the huge Red Rose Speedway, Band on the Run, Venus and Mars, Speed of Sound, and then a triple live album. What do you come up with? A pretty mellow, for the most part, low key
Well,
affair.
for the most part, yeah.
For the most part, that does pretty well. I mean, I know a lot of people didn't like it; they thought it was weak at the time, but and I guess in comparison with Band on the Run and Venus and Mars and the hugeness of those albums, it pales a little bit. But I don't know. I think I think it holds up. I think
Right.
it still holds up.
Yeah, yeah, maybe add like maybe add Girls' School to this, take something out, that adds a little oomph to
Little
the
more,
album.
yeah, a little more
Yeah,
oomph to the album.
yeah. So, but all in all, I mean, it's I like it. It's got a lot of really good strong songs on here. It'd be curious to see if Linda doesn't get pregnant. Okay, does this album, and the band does stay a little longer. The band stays long enough to finish the
Right.
album, and then it gets released in, let's say, 77 rather than 78. Does it get received differently? You know what I mean?
I don't know. The punk Sex Pistols are all the rage now.
Yeah.
But the music landscape changes drastically in 76, 77, 78. All of a sudden, the old guys were out of fashion. Whether you were
Mm,
pop artists or prog artists. I mean, prog. It was definitely for the case for the prog artists. They were definitely, the writing was on the wall. But to stay relevant, that's why Paul wrote a song like Boil Crisis.
right.
To be very punkish. It's where you had
Oh
that
yeah.
kind of punkish style on Back to the Egg you
Mhm.
know so
Yeah.
but then again, all that yin and yang, you've got those kind of songs, and you've got low key. But to your point, yeah, I don't know if Linda doesn't become pregnant, does it come out? I don't know.
Mm,
I think the break was necessary, though, given the zenith that they were on there. But in
mm,
70, 75, and 76, okay, 74 they don't tour, but their Band on the Run is doing well. Junior's Farm does well, and they're preparing the way that Jeff Britton comes to the band, leaves, then they get Joe English in, and then that huge lineup of Wings starts to gel in 75 and 76. For those 2 years, that lineup kills it and becomes the most successful version of Wings. Although,
mhm.
in light of the archive stuff, we now know that there's a lot more appreciation for the earlier Wings material, and thank God for that.
Right. What does Bob got here? He got 2009. It looked like the encore was different there. We got FedEx Field, Washington D.C. We got Yesterday. You got Helter Skelter, Get Back, Sergeant Pepper, and then into the end.
Yeah.
So
So I see. Yes, that's 2009. So yeah, that's a long time.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
we got a clown
So
here.
Mitch, wasn't Wings Over America released in 76 or late 76?
End of 76.
Yeah.
End of 76.
Yeah.
Um, and I think I've according to what I've read, uh, Paul spent like day and night for weeks there at the end of like in the fall of 76, really kind of going through everything. And maybe there was some sweetening done to it to get rid of
Mhm.
and if there was, there was. So what,
Right.
But I do, he spent, I think Paul alone spent weeks and weeks preparing Wings Over America. That's a triple live album. There's
Mhm.
not too many triple live albums in the 70s. Frampton Comes Alive is a double. I mean, how many live albums? Bangladesh. Okay.
Well, that was a triple?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes Songs is a triple live album.
Right.
So to
Yeah.
have a triple LP there in 70, at the end of 76, yeah, maybe the single maybe would came out in 77.
Hmm.
Right.
Well, let's it's right
Tom
here.
Navarani says the Golden Slumbers Encore started in 2012. Yeah, that sounds about right, Tom.
Mm,
Because when I saw him in 2002, it was the Sergeant Pepper's The End thing, which then he
okay.
did that in '02 and '05 and did,
Mm.
but yeah. Yeah, and a
Yeah, but
number, yeah.
triple number one, absolutely. Yeah.
Why do we have clowns?
Well, because the world is full of them.
Well, we have clowns.
Yeah. But yeah, London Town is good. London Town is really good. I'm looking. I'm tell you what. When it does finally get released, I will be ecstatic about it,
We'll
and
do an unboxing.
we'll do an unboxing. Yeah, we'll do an unboxing. And I'm telling you, man, everybody's all of a sudden gonna love London Town. You know, all the people that kind of like are on the fence of London Town. This archive set's gonna get released, and all of a sudden, everybody is gonna be singing its praises. You know.
You know it.
Yeah.
You know it. We'll have to see how well it does, and if Denny Lane gets consulted on the project, and maybe he's allowed to contribute to the release with his thoughts. I don't know if there's any other principal members, or obviously other than Denny, or
Joe
obviously
English.
Joe English. Maybe some people on the and Paul's been very good about getting the people involved in the recording, getting their take on it. If you look at the Tug of War, he's got takes from John Jacobs, which if you've read, he's that
Right.
young engineer. So the archive team does a good job of getting input from the people that were part of the production, whether that's the artist, the engineers, staff people. So to make it, to give you a full sense of the period of what was going on, so
Right.
you could get some of these people, and you've read the credits here, like the cover was done by Aubrey Powell. He did so many covers there in the 70s. John
Right.
Hamill, Trevor Jones, Alan Crowder. That's a name that if you know your McCartney history.
Right.
Will he speak on it? No, he doesn't work for him anymore. Or maybe some of the people that had the boats. They
Right.
recorded the album on a couple of boats. Try to find some of those people around.
Right. And
The Wanderlust, the Wanderlust.
yeah. Right. Mitch says, Back to the Egg and London Town are worthy of archives. And they are. And it's
Yeah.
funny because listen, like is Pipes of Peace any less worthy? I mean, the Pipes of
No.
Peace is an archive. Wildlife, did was, I think
All right.
went
So
to
why?
10,
That's a
you
good
know.
point, Tom.
Right.
Yeah, like if Wildlife and Pipes of Peace, which are not huge sellers in the McCartney,
Right.
they've already gotten archives. How could a big
Right.
seller like London Town with a huge single not?
Right. No, exactly. Yeah.
Good point.
Right. And yeah, I've heard that too, Mitch. But then when we had him on, he wouldn't admit it.
Well,
Yeah.
NDA can't
Right.
do it.
Yeah.
So,
So
he debuted 1985 and 2009. So it's been in the set for a while.
mm.
A lot less longer than Let Me Roll It though.
Yeah, and that's another thing, Flowers in the Dirt as well. It didn't do well. I mean, it was number 1 in the UK, but it
Number
didn't
one
do
in the
well.
UK, 21
Didn't do
here.
well. It didn't do well here. I mean, 21, that is not good for McCartney.
No, but see that continued the stretch. Press to Play was 30.
Right.
Flowers was 21.
Mhm.
Uh,
All right.
Punk Eye. Do you think Paul should stop playing Getting Better Live because of the line about beating his women? I get embarrassed. And he sings, he's changed those lyrics. Stop playing it.
No.
No.
Listen, he's not. He doesn't mean it. It's just a song. Okay. So, I mean, should you stop playing Goodfellas, or should you stop playing The Godfather because somebody's, what's her name's husband smacks her around? Connie's husband smacks her around. I know. No,
Carlo. We don't
Carlo.
discuss we
Yeah.
don't discuss business
Yeah,
at
we
the
don't use
table.
the
Rest in
table.
peace,
That's
James
right.
Caan.
Yeah, right. So, why should he stop singing that? But then we still keep watching movies that have some kind
Yeah.
of
No more
abuse
of that.
yeah,
No
no,
more of that crap.
yeah.
Absolutely not.
It's a song.
It's
It's
a
not taking
song.
person. It's not taking. I mean, he's
And
not
I
gonna
think
smack.
I think we can apply that same philosophy to a certain John Lennon song when it comes out on Sometime in New York City, which,
Right.
from what I read, is being held up because of that song.
Hmm.
Not just to go into a little bit of a Lennon tangent, but yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
just talking about banned songs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We'll
But
see.
no. I mean, no. I don't think he should stop doing getting better just because of that one line.
Absolutely not. Rory
Yeah,
asks,
I would.
is Glastonbury available to watch in America? You, uh, I think you can listen to the audio. You have to be. We got another clown. Um, you have to be a UK resident, I believe, to watch Glastonbury.
Mm.
I think. Yeah. These are the most clowns we've had since we've done this. It's a
Well,
shame.
we must be doing something right then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Tony. That I mean, Tony. Mitch. That'd be really cool if we could see a list of the sales figures on these archive releases. You know,
Yeah, I
I mean,
haven't seen anything recent.
unless we are like, are able to get a hold of Capital or I don't even know if Billboard would have that information.
I know that
Um,
they have received a lot of accolades and been
yeah,
nominated for
yeah, absolutely.
best archive. You know, they've gotten a lot. Ram, I know
Mm,
Ram was way up there in terms of its. I think
right.
Ram Wings Over America
Hmm.
as well. Back in the USSR, Tony, that's a song I wouldn't mind not hearing anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Uh, this is
Shoot.
interesting. I kind of agree with you. Yeah, I agree with you. Could be. Time will
Hmm.
tell, as Asia's saying.
Only time will tell. That is a good album. Um, all right, what else out there? Anybody else got any questions or anything else out there you wanna talk about? Um, I picked up a few, me in the movies and stuff like that. So I'll show a few things that I picked up recently. Every July and November, Barnes and Nobles has their Criterion, um, you know, DVD Blu-ray sale, half off sale, and I picked up a couple here recently. And one of my all-time favorite films, was just released this month on Criterion, and that's Raging Bull.
Ah, there it is.
So picked that up. Um, a favorite, David Lean is one of the all-time legendary directors. He did, Bridge on the River Kwai, Doctor Zhivago, Lawrence of Olivier, and Lawrence of Arabia. Sorry, and one of his early films called Summertime with Katharine Hepburn. This was upgraded to Blu-ray. This is from 1955. This takes place in Venice, I believe it was. Yeah, Venice. So the scenery is fantastic. If you ever, you know, um, if you like the scenery in Italy, this one has a lot of beautiful scenery in it. Um, One of my top five favorite actors, Paul Newman, finally picked up Cool Hand Luke.
Cool Hand Luke.
Yeah, I've been this Blu-ray came out in 2008, so I've been kind of like hoping we'd get like a big 50th anniversary type thing, but nothing has come out, so I just finally caved in and got this. So watched this the other night, and Cool Hand Luke never disappoints. Great, great, great.
Tony, what Blaney book you
Yeah,
talking about? The Lennon one or the Paul one?
yeah,
And this is because there's multiple versions of the Paul one,
right.
and that's
And
he'll be a future guest.
yeah, we've been in contact with John Blaney, and we're gonna have him back on the show now that we had him back on before Andy joined me, and we're gonna have him back on now that we are at video cast, and he's actually gonna pull out. He emailed me back saying he's gonna pull out some rare stuff that he has in his collection, so I'm looking forward
Good,
to that.
good. Yeah, he's UK based and one
Yeah,
of the very
yeah,
early McCartney resources. Definitely a
right.
go-to and very
Yeah,
thorough and
yeah.
an essential read here for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna have Blaney on in August, so be on the lookout for that. Tom, after London Tom, back to the egg. Yeah, press the play. Return to Pupperland.
Off the ground,
Off
Broad
the
Street
ground,
Choke,
Broad Street.
and
Yeah,
that completes the Linda era. Now I think you'll get you'll get um you'll get Return to Pepperland as probably like a second disc on the press to play, just of all the stuff, all that other
right,
stuff, kind of like McCartney 2 with all those extra stuff. I think you'll get that as well. Um,
right.
oh, okay. So yeah, Tony got Together Alone. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, that's the one.
Yep. Susan, I emailed him. I want to say back in 2021, I emailed him and asked him if he was working on one, and he said he started, but he lost interest. And we'll definitely talk about that when he's back on in August. So yes, absolutely, we will discuss that.
Yeah, we'll ask him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. I mean, listen, sooner or later the final word's going to be said, right? When Paul's no longer
Right.
with us. So it's,
Right.
how, when you publish it, it's usually right out of date because something comes out,
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Just like Eight Arms to Hold You was out of date
Sure,
a month after it was released.
21 years ago when it got published.
Right.
Um, how much money would you be willing to drop on an intimate deep? I would max out. I would get 10 credit cards to sit in the first row.
Oh man. Well, you know, yeah, I'd pay some big bucks to see an intimate show with stuff that he's never done live or hasn't done live often.
Get out
You
of the
know.
way.
Yeah.
Definitely YOLO FOMO moment. For sure.
Rory, to be honest with you, I'm done with Marvel movies. I am just done. I have no interest to watch any more Marvel movies. So I have heard that it's nothing but a big comedy. And honestly, behind me, I have a brown paper bag filled with all of the Marvel movies that I had on Blu-ray. I'm taking them to Zia and just getting store credit for them.
Oh, you're done?
Yeah, I'm done. I'm done. Yeah.
There you go. Hey, little store credit never hurt anybody, especially
Oh,
with Zia.
absolutely.
We love
Exactly.
Zia. I can't believe it's almost a year ago that I came out to visit you.
Right. Yeah.
Isn't that
It's
crazy?
insane. Yeah. Yeah. You and Ethan, that was a great time.
That was fun. That was a fun trip, man. Hot.
Yeah.
Hot.
Yes.
Man, walking
Need
around
to
the
get
streets of
Ethan back out
Phoenix.
here so I can. Yeah. Oh yeah.
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 Walking around the streets of Phoenix. I'm like, where's everybody? Nobody walks around out here. Why? It's 105 degrees in the shade. That's why. Jesus. Go for a walk downtown to go out of my hotel. I'm like, where the hell is everybody? Not here. Oh, where you at?
They're in their air conditioning. That's where they're at.
I learned that pretty damn quick. Text Tom, right? Pick me up. Let's go.
Yeah. Just got another day Apple single. Cool. Hey, listen, great.
Yeah.
If you don't, now's the time to do it. I'm telling you. Once he passes everything, now listen. The cost of the price of vinyl with this new explosion is going through the roof, anyways. Now, you throw in the fact that he, when he passes, it's gonna go through the heavens. Can
we not talk about that though? I really like.
Yeah.
I know it's a fact of life, but I hate referring to it. I really do.
Yeah. I hear you. Yeah. Ethan got the cool off because I threw him in the pool. That's why.
Yes, you did, and it's documented too. That was funny.
Yeah. That was a good time.
Yes. Arizona. Yeah. First time I'd ever been.
Yeah. So what? I took you to what, about 7 or 8 record stores?
Yeah, probably 3 or 4 Zias, and In-Groove was the very first one.
Right.
And then there was a couple of small ones, indie ones that we did, which were some good finds at as well.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I just can't believe that was almost a year ago. It's just, where does the time go? It was August, right?
Yeah, it was August. I believe it was August.
Yeah. So, then you came here, and then, August again, coming up, Chicago Fest in a few weeks.
All right, so let's talk about that. You're going to the fest in Chicago.
I'll be there.
Okay. That's going to be, I believe Lewison's going to be there.
From what I hear, yep. August 12th, 13th, and 14th, and I'll be there. I'm going to bring my laptop. I'm going to set up our laptop, and I'm going to get Tom on a call here, and we're going to sit like in Radio Row style, like at the Super Bowl, and flag people down as they walk through the lobby and try to get them to sit down and talk to me and Tom.
Nice.
That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to sit in the lobby like whenever nothing's going on and just grab people.
Right.
Anybody, fans, author, anybody that we might see.
Cool.
So
very cool.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, and then we'll definitely do the Jersey Fest next year. So
yeah. Tony asks, what do we think the best compilation album is? I gotta say, for quantity and quality, probably Pure McCartney.
Yeah. I mean, although that does has its flaws, for sure.
Not
Has
Wingspan, not Wingspan,
Well,
right?
I mean, has there been a perfect greatest hits compilation?
All the best is probably the best one that you could probably get for the time, I would
But the
think.
UK or the US?
I guess it depends on whatever your mood is that day.
Right.
I to believe
Yes.
this is, and you
Yeah.
believe you own this, don't you?
Yes, yeah, I have checked out Criterion's Last Waltz. I do own it, and I played it very loudly like it suggested you to do at the beginning of the film. So, yes.
uh, cool beans.
Excellent, Beans, get your ass there. I cannot wait. That'll be
Yeah,
awesome. Yes,
that
with
was
Robert S. Yeah,
that was meeting Robert S. and Matt Street and Joe Mayo and Beetle
right,
Brad. That was like a YouTuber convention. That was fun.
right. Rory's got an interesting question here. I like
How
this.
long do you think there'll be until there's no physical media?
Right.
I
Well,
don't.
I'm
You
sure if
go ahead. You first.
companies had their way, it would have happened years ago. But no, I mean, as long as there continues to be this surge of vinyl sales, as long as there continues, CDs are actually having a small surge. Cassettes are having a small surge. As long as these surges continue,
There'll be product. Yeah, I tend to
yeah,
agree. I
yeah,
agree. I don't think I think maybe I think if there was any chance it was going to go away, it was probably 10, 15 years ago
right.
when it was really dormant and things were scarce and everything was starting to make that. Then you really couldn't get anything. Now it's back, and I don't think it's going away anytime soon.
Mm-hmm.
Jamie, if Paul's ever to do a song from Off the Ground, I think he means the Off the Ground era, not to the album. What would it be?
Hmm.
He says style, long with the coat, which we're on, of course, the complete works, not on the album proper.
Hmm.
Well, Hope of Deliverance would be a nice
You
song
mean
to
for
play.
to do live?
I think that's what he means. Yeah.
Yeah. Why not? I mean, actually, yeah. I mean, I'm really starting to really, appreciate Hope of Deliverance more these days, on a musical standpoint more than lyrically. But I would welcome Hope of Deliverance live.
Well, it was
Absolutely.
there was certain markets of the world that song did very,
Yeah.
very well,
Yeah.
especially in Europe. I forget what
Exactly.
countries, but in certain countries it was a huge hit over there in certain
Right.
countries.
Right.
For that. So, Hope of Deliverance. And that has sneaked its way into some set lists over the last 10, 15 years. Doesn't happen often. Sound
Mm-hmm.
checks. It's snuck in there. You'd have to go back and do your research there on his set list, but it snuck in once or
Right.
twice. You'd have to go book and back and look, but it has.
Hmm.
It has. Let me see if I can do that while we're sitting here waiting.
Tony, I can't believe. Listen to what the man said. It is in On Wings Grace. Yeah, I mean, we've been marveling at that for decades.
That's the head scratcher. That's
Yeah.
the head
If
scratcher.
anything, you take high off and you add listen to what the man said. I mean, it is supposed to be greatest, right? I mean, so obviously, listen to what the man said did better than high. So you put that on it to replace it.
You have to. Well, he definitely did Hope of Deliverance in '93, Christian.
Hmm.
He
Yeah,
definitely did.
you did. Yeah,
I'm
I
just trying to
remember that.
see when Tom saw it. I'm just
Yeah.
trying to see when he snuck it in while I'm on setlist.com here. Let's take a look.
Actually, remember that shirt that I told you I bought?
Yes, and you showed it to me.
I showed it to you. Guess what I got on eBay?
You, what?
I
You
bought
bought
I
it?
re- I bought that shirt. Yeah, I bought that tour shirt. I'm like, I should have this shirt, since that was my first Paul concert going experience. So went on eBay and found one for $25 and I bought
That's
it.
not bad.
No, no,
And it's not a really that. I know you said the shirt looked kind of cheesy. It's not bad.
yeah,
I got the Hope of Deliverance stats here. It was
right,
last played in May of 2016 in Paris. See,
okay,
so it was played in 15. It was played in 13. He played it in 2013. But again, all he played it in Orlando, Florida, on May 18th, 2013. But other
right,
than that, it's in Golania. It's all these South American countries, Mexico City,
hmm,
Bogota. See, that's because that's where the song did well. So
right,
from 90, he didn't play it from 93 until 2012. But
hmm,
it's gotten again. It got back in there a little bit.
right. Yeah, and see, and that's the thing. I mean, we're getting people talking about what they would replace or what with listen what the man said, and yes, another day, Uncle
Well,
Admiral
you're going to replace
Halsey
Paulina's going
is
to replace Uncle Albert with "Listen to What the Man Said." Come on, that's his first number one.
yeah, but technically, yes, they're not Wings songs. I mean, if you're gonna do an album called Wings Greatest, but you have three members that ended up being on a band called Wings. You got
Anyway, which is why
you
I have no
right,
problem with it being on there.
right.
Now, maybe I'm amazed that's not on there.
Right, right. You got Denny, you got
And the live
Paul
version
and Linda.
could have gone on Wings Greatest because
It was a
the
number
album came.
10.
It
It
was
was
already
number
a
10.
single. It was a top 10 single in '77. So how do you
Right,
not put "Maybe I'm Amazed" and "Listen to What the Man Said," two of his best known songs, not on that compilation? Yet we're getting "Hi Hi Hi."
right. Beans, that's a great question. What do I prefer, off the ground or press the play? And
Off the
I
ground,
I prefer press the play.
off the ground, hands down.
Yeah, I'm going with press the play.
Yeah, I'm gonna go off the ground.
Uh,
Um,
hmm. All right,
where
we're
is
gonna
his?
wrap it up here in a few.
Yeah, we can wrap it up.
Great song.
So,
Wrap it up. I take it. Um, Fabulous Freebirds. All right, cool. Well, thank you all for joining us. We're going to wrap this up here in a few minutes. If you're new here, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Please hit that like button if you're here.
also, check out Tom and I have posted. If you haven't seen them already, we posted things we bought yesterday and today.
Yep, there
Tom
you
about a
go.
week ago. Tom did one about a
Yep,
week ago. I did one a few days ago. So
yep,
you can see our latest acquisitions that are on our channel.
yep. I filmed one already. That will probably be the next one, maybe on Monday, and it's got something that's right behind me here.
Oh, the
Where's
kit. Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah, that the off the ground press release kit. That's what that is. This is really cool. Let me show you real quick.
Yeah, let's take
And
a little sneak peek there,
all right,
partner.
so yeah, so I'm featuring this in the next installment of things we bought yesterday and today. And the cool thing about this is it's
Turn
pretty
it.
much the exact listen. This is pretty much the exact same size as the archive of an archive set. Lengthwise, it's the
Oh,
same size,
I see
height
what you're
wise.
saying. Yeah, yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? When you put it this way and you put it right next to the rest of the archives, it's like it belongs there.
So that was that's the press
Yeah.
kit.
So this is the press kit. Yeah, and like I said,
You
I'm gonna
bastard. That
yeah.
see an album the guy don't even like, and he buys a press kit for it.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, look how cool this is because a lot of the press kits you've seen in the past, they're in like a folder, you know.
Right, they're just
So
in a little right.
yeah,
But that's a
exactly.
box. You get a box. A
Yeah,
big blue one?
yeah, yeah. A big
A big blue one?
blue one, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's got the photo. It's got a couple pages of
Any
literature.
music or singles or anything in
It's
there or
got
no?
okay, I'll show you real quick. So once you take, like I said, you got the photo, okay. You've got the literature about the album,
The album, okay, the press
yeah,
release.
and then you get the
Oh, you
cassette
get
and
they
the
give you the
single.
CD and they give you the album.
Yeah, yeah,
That is
yeah,
so cool. Holy
right,
crap.
yeah,
Thank you. Thank you very much.
yeah.
For the that's very much underrated band, and I'm still listening to them quite a bit. So
Yeah.
yeah, thank you very much. Thank you, Beans. Yeah,
Awesome. Yeah.
glad you agree. I can.
Hmm.
So you get the CD and the tape in
You
that
get the
set.
CD and the cassette in this. Yeah. So
Oh, they
yeah, this was
were
a
they
really cool find.
were
Yeah.
they sealed, Tom? The tape
Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
CD sealed.
And they still are sealed. Yes. And that's how they'll stay.
See, I have an affinity for it because it was one of the newer albums when I came into my fandom. That's why
Right.
I remember the
Understood.
marketing and
Yeah.
the commercials, so that's why I rank it. But you were a little older and
Right.
but you saw the tour. I mean, come, I would
Yeah.
have given my left arm to see the off the ground tour.
Right. So the cool thing is if we got an off the ground archive release, I
Yeah,
would it would be cool if it was just like
just
this.
like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. I would rather it be on the side like this than like this.
yeah.
So Tony, I can't
eBay.
tell you all the secrets. I'm not telling anybody the secrets.
I'll find out anyway. I always do.
Anyways, but yeah, this was a fantastic find, and yeah, I love it. You know,
That's a nice
kind of make
acquisition partner.
yeah, yeah. So,
I
but
gotta like now I gotta find something to make you jealous now. I gotta go through the Nichols archives
oh,
here.
I'm sure you will. I'm sure you will. There was a question I saw little minute ago here, and I was gonna get to
Uh
you. Paulina would keep another day because it's not on the album proper, whereas Uncle Albert is on an album. So I see what she's saying. So you keep another day on Wings Greatest because it's not on an album.
uh
You know what I mean?
yeah.
So it was just a single. So same thing with Junior's Farm. You got to have that. You got to keep that on there. So I know there's just Mumbo should have been on Wings Greatest. Really good, Billy. Good, yeah. Good comment. Good comments.
Get out of here. Take it,
uh,
Tony. So
yeah, that's it. Um, yeah, Kevin. Nor did I until I saw it. um, no, Rory. Well, actually, Rory, a few months ago, before no, for the anniversary, for the 50th anniversary of the university tour, Andy, myself, and our friend Dylan, we did a alternate set list video. So that's on the YouTube channel. You can scroll down to when was it? February?
February,
When we
yeah.
did that. Yeah, when we did that episode, and you can see the set list we created for a tour. Now it wasn't necessarily a Glastonbury set list.
No,
That
we did our kind of our
right,
wish list. Now
right,
Dylan did it a little bit differently because he did it with Paul singing the
right,
songs. Now Tom and I kind of just picked our dream set list and did that.
right. Yeah.
So
Yeah. No, nothing against Andrew, but we already did it, so there was really no point in doing another
yeah,
one.
we
Um,
been there, done that, babe. But
yeah,
thank you, punk guy. Thank you very much.
yeah. Thank you.
Thanks for the comments and thanks everybody. So
Yeah. So this weekend, the latest show will feature Glenn Greenberg, who wrote the Time magazine, Paul McCartney at 80. I'm sure some of you may have gotten this. So we are interviewing Glenn, or we already have, but we'll be posting that episode.
Saturday.
We'll be posting that episode this Saturday. Okay. And and I'm sure there'll be another version of things we bought yesterday and today next week. And
As
we'll be
well.
live, and we'll be back live next Wednesday around the same time. So
We will.
thank you, Tom. Thank you, Susan, Punk Guy, Kevin, Paulina, Beans, Tony, Mitch, Christian, all you guys out there, cool. Kevin,
Christian,
we
yeah,
yeah,
Jamie,
Jamie, yeah, Billy, we love you all. Rory, Susan,
Tom
Tom,
Brennan. Thank you,
yep,
Mitch. Thanks, Mitch, for popping on.
Walrus, yeah, yeah. So thank you all for popping in, and we'll have more for you next week, and we will be talking soon. Andy, anything you want to say before
That's it
we?
now. We're all good, brother. But thank you. Thank you, everybody, for popping on again tonight. This is our third one, believe it or not, of the summer. And we'll be back, as Tom said, next Wednesday with a couple of concerts under my belt to review as well.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You got a busy week.
Yep. John Anderson tomorrow and Gordon Lightfoot on Sunday.
Yeah.
So I'll talk about those.
Real quick here, Tom, do you have Shopify?
I
Yes,
have
I
the
do.
single. I have the
Yeah.
single, yellow, the yellow
Yeah,
single.
the yellow vinyl single. Yes, yeah.
With
Yep.
We All Stand Together. But yeah,
Yes.
that's right,
Yes,
Tom
Paulina,
Brennan.
thank you. Yeah.
That's right.
Well, give or take a few bet minutes.
Yeah, we try to be prompt, and if we're not, we
Yeah.
apologize.
Yeah. But again, sometimes something gets in the way, unfortunately. So, but everybody, we will see you soon. Okay, we'll see you this weekend, and then we'll see you again live
Next Wednesday.
next Wednesday. So, thank you, everyone.
See you, partner.
Yep. Take care.